Hello friends, Future Kelsey coming here just to give you a little heads up about what you are about to watch. So, I was stressed for time. I was out of town here recently, and the lovely husband has so graciously stepped in and decided to record my TBR for me. So that's what you're about to see, but I wanted to bring a couple of things to your attention. This month I am participating in the Magical Readathon, which he will talk about a little bit later, but I wanted to let you know that as always I will leave that announcement video down below. It's a little complicated if you're not quite sure what it's about, so I will definitely leave her announcement video down below so you can check out her thing. But the idea of it is that you are at a magical school and you're taking classes in the spring, and then in the fall you take the tests for those classes based on a career that you've chosen. So I will leave all of that linked down below, as well as all of the books that we talk about. I love Chris so much, but he has no idea what any of these books are about, and that's totally on me. But I will leave all of those down below if you'd like to see what they're actually about, and I will be vlogging the entire month, so feel free to watch those, and I'll talk about them a lot more as we go throughout the month. But I hope you enjoy. I loved watching this video, so I hope that you guys enjoy the chaos that is coming your way, and I'll see you guys in my next one.
I am Butterfly Man!
Hi everybody, my name is Kelsey, and we're about to get very, very nerdy with August's TBR.
Hey everybody, so obviously I am not Kelsey, I'm Chris. She's out of town this week, and I said, what can I do to help you? She said, will you shoot my TBR? And I said, sure. I didn't know what this entailed, so I apologize. This is not going to be what you're used to. She did leave me notes to tell me what to tell you. She is doing a readathon this month, so we're going to introduce her books, we're going to introduce her draws, and then we'll introduce the readathon. There are no punishments from last month due to her burnout slash slump, so there's just 8 books instead of however many she would have had, 102, I don't know. So her first draw was Read a Romance, so she will be reading Stars of Fortune by Nora Roberts. Had it in my hand, couldn't remember the name. Welcome to being a teacher. You don't remember anything that you're supposed to. This is book 1 in the Guardians trilogy, so there's apparently 3 of these. The cover has sand with an embossed town over the top of it. It looks like a beach or a desert, and then there's grass, like a grassy hill behind it. It's an odd cover. Not gonna lie to you, it's an odd cover. The tagline says, to celebrate the rise of their new queen, 3 goddesses of the moon created 3 stars, one of fire, one of ice, one of water. But then they fall from the sky, putting the fate of all worlds in danger, and now 3 women and 3 men join forces to pick up the pieces. I don't know if you all have ever seen the movie Stardust. It's got Ian McKellen and Ben Barnes and Henry Cavill and Michelle Pfeiffer and Claire Danes and Robert De Niro. If you've ever seen that one, that's what this book makes me think of right off the bat. But I'm also weird. If you haven't seen the movie Stardust, go watch the movie Stardust. It's quite good. Her next pull was a recent purchase. So this year. So she's reading a book that she purchased this year. This is a good one for her because she doesn't do that very often. So she will be reading The Monarchs by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page. It is a sequel to The Ravens. So if you've read The Ravens, this is the sequel. If you haven't read The Ravens, read The Ravens first, I suppose. I don't know. It's got butterflies on it. And it says, these sorority witches rule. But it's got butterflies on it. But they look angry. They look like angry butterflies, which is not something that I needed to know existed, because now my nightmares will be filled with angry butterflies. Her next pull was read a hyped book. So she will be reading Lore Olympus by Rachel Smythe. The Y throws me off, y'all. Volume 2, which I assume is a sequel to Volume 1, although I would definitely write a book and call it Volume 2 without there being a Volume 1, just to mess with people like me who assume things that they shouldn't assume. This says, scandalous gossip, wild parties, and forbidden love. Her next draw was Buddy Read. So she will be reading One Dance with a Duke by Tessa Dare. She has a whole Tessa Dare Buddy Read thing going on, so that was pretty easy. Feels like a cheater pick here. This book says, in One Dance with a Duke, the first novel in Tessa Dare's delightful new trilogy, secrets and scandals tempt the irresistible rogues of the Stud Club to gamble everything for love. Her next draw was read a book you think you'll learn from. So she will be reading I Am Spock by Leonard Nimoy. This is obviously a book about the director of the film 3 Men and a Baby. I also have heard rumors that he was in some sci-fi show, but I don't know anything about that. We don't have a copy of that, but I'm sure we will by the time she's done. Her next pull was read a book by a POC author. So she has selected The Emma Project by Sonali Dev. I'm sure I butchered the pronunciation of that name, and I apologize. If you reach out to me and tell me how to pronounce your name, I will do my best to say it right. It's what I tell my students all the time. I say, I want to say your name right, but I have to know how to say it right to say it right. So I did my best. I apologize if I have insulted you by mispronouncing the name. I'm doing my best here. This is Emma Gets a Fresh Indian American Twist in this heartwarming, irresistible Jane Austen-inspired rom-com series. The author has also written Pride, Prejudice, and Other Flavors. Sorry, I misplaced the and. As well as Recipe for Persuasion, which are apparently based on the 2 Jane Austen books that I have read because I love my wife. I have not yet read Emma. I'm sure it's coming. Although she said she wasn't going to have me read any more of Jane Austen's because I read her 2 favorites. Her next pick was Free Read. This also felt like a freebie because she just got to read something she wanted to read. She picked Wicked Beauty. I believe Katie Robert is how you pronounce that. I've heard that name pronounced in this household, so I assume that's who this is. It has a gold apple sitting on top of other apples. It is the sizzling new chapter in the best-selling Dark Olympus series. It's steamy, sweet, and action-packed, according to New York Times and USA Today best-selling author Hannah Witten. Katie Robert is also a New York Times and USA Today best-selling author. I'm noticing a theme about these best-selling authors here. Her next pull was Random Letter. So, we have a random letter generator that's currently sitting on K for Kelsey. And now it's on A. Well, that shouldn't be too hard, right? Book that starts with A. Y'all, I just found where the other books in that Jane Austen series are, and there's a 4th one as well. Incense and Sensibility. So we have another one. So she gave me permission to pick the book that starts with A, and because I'm a nice husband, I have selected All of the Above by Shelley Pearsall. Shelley Pearsall actually came and visited my middle school, and she signed my book. It says Nothing is Impossible. This is a book, about students who are building a tetrahedron, which is those little triangles, and then you glue them together to make a big triangle, and then you glue the big triangles together to make a bigger triangle. So they're trying to set the world record. That's about all I remember about this book. I was quite young. This is a middle grade book, but it was right behind me, and it was the first one I saw that started with A, so we're going to run with it. So those are all of the books from her draws. So now for her magical readathon. It's a magical readathon. She wanted me to tell you that her career is Master of Elements. In order to become a Master of Elements, she has to get an O for Ordinary in Shape-Shifting, Animal Studies, and Astronomy. She has to get a Q for Qualified, which is the second level, in Restoration, and a D for Distinguished, which is the third level, in Elemental Studies. So, Elemental Studies, O, she has to start a book with a drink. So she has decided to read The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and I'm going to butcher this name, sung by Sangu Mandana. That will also be her NetGalley arc, so she's very excited about that. For a Q in Elemental Studies, she has to find a book in the room and read the book next to that one. So she's not here, so it gets to be me. And I'm already feeling a little dizzy today, so this is going to be fun. Alright, so glasses are off. Eyes are covered. I'm spinning. I'm spinning. I'm spinning. I'm spinning. I'm moving my hand up and down. Stop. I'm moving my hand back and forth. Stop. So I pointed to As Old as Time by Liz Braswell. So the book next to it that I selected was What Once Was Mine, also by Liz Braswell. It is a twisted tale. It's a New York Times best-selling series. It says, what if Rapunzel's mother drank a potion from the wrong flower? This feels appropriate because she's out of town at a bachelorette weekend, and the bride and her fiance are the ones who got us this book, so it feels very appropriate that she read this. Next, for her D in Elemental Studies, she will be reading a book with a C setting. So she will be reading Stars and Fortune by Nora Robert. She loves when she can double up like that, so that worked out nicely. For her O in Shape-Shifting, she needs a book with wings on the cover, so guess what? Nightmarish Butterflies. She's got it. She will be reading the Monarchs. For her O in Animal Studies, she will be reading a book with a familiar/animal companion, so she will be reading Descender, Volume 2, Machine Moon by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen, I think. For her O in Astronomy, she will be reading a book with the letter L in the title. Hey! Lore Olympus has an L in the title. Look at that. For her O in Restoration, she will be using a book with a single object as the focus of the cover. So she will be reading Wicked Beauty, that has a very strong focus on a golden apple. And finally, for her Q in Restoration, she will be reading the oldest book on her TBR, which happens to be Enchanty by Gita Trelease, I think. It's my best guess. Love, magic, and revolution. Magic is a cheater's game, and everyone who sees it wants to play. She does have a couple of other books that I should mention. She will be reading The Sea Witch, which is Wicked Villains number 5 by Katie Robert, as part of another buddy read that she's doing. And she has a middle grade book on her TBR this month, which is The Magic Misfits number 3, The Minor Third by Neil Patrick Harris, which I'm sure has a magical card related connotation, but the music teacher in me just hears, "Hey Jude," which is a minor third in music. You're welcome. You're learning something. Kelsey's not here. You got the teacher, the music teacher, so you're learning about music. I apologize. So if you liked this video, and I very much hope that you did, even though Kelsey's not here, so don't do it if you didn't like this video, but give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you'd like to be a part of this awesome growing family. She'll be back next time, I promise. She also puts all of her bookish links down below and her social media. I watch on my TV, so I don't ever see those, but she really does. Like, that's not just something she says. There's really links down there. You can get discounts at, like, book places and stuff. So, like, why would you not check those out? Like, go get on your phone and pull up your history and find this video and look at the description. Like, she really takes the time to do it. If you'd like to leave a comment but you don't know what to say, go ahead and put your emoji that makes you think of the beach, because that's where she is this week, getting super sunburned, and she'll be very pink when she comes back on here. And she's going to be mad that I'm telling you that, but she's going to be pink for like a month, y'all. It's ridiculous. So, I think that's everything I was supposed to say. I'm sure I forgot something and I'll get fussed at. I hope you all had fun. She'll be back next time. I hope you all have a great reading August. August is my birthday month, so it's a very special month for me. So I really do hope that you have a wonderful reading August. And Kelsey will see you in her next video. Bye.